Okay, people, this is me saying we're fucked. Let's start with this whole fucking thing. Okay, I know it's been a while. And I know I ain't got too many people that watch, but for those of you that do, it's very simple. I'm going to explain to you the reasons we're fucked. And I'm going to explain to you what we could have done differently, but we haven't. As shortly as personally put it, the DNC are a bunch of liars. They've lied about just about everything, and they try to make idiot Americans believe that the reason they lost the campaign was because of Russia, which has nothing to do with it. But the War Commission likes the idea of us having the fear of Russia because that helps the military complex. It's all about money, folks. Don't fall into the hype of it's this or it's that. No. We're not going to North Korea or doing any of that stuff or making any threats about North Korea because North Korea is a threat. If North Korea was really a threat, we would have nuked them already and been done with it. Or at least attacked them and been done with it. At least tried to. The truth of the matter is we're making North Korea scared, which makes them look threatening because they're basically scared and they're showing us that, hey, back off. Why? It's us doing it, like it or not. Think of it this way, folks. If somebody was standing at your front porch, North Korea's not here. They're not here. Okay? You could say all you want about the nukes that they're doing, but the only reason that's the case is because we got how many nukes and how many missiles pointed at them? And we have for a long time. Yeah, this is our doing. You're pointing a gun at somebody and they're going, I'll get a bigger one. Now leave me alone. And you're on their front porch. That's basically the situation with North Korea. Beyond that, and honestly, can you blame them at that point? What would you do if somebody stood on your front porch saying, I'm going to shoot you? I'm going to come in and rob you and murder your wife and rape your children and shoot you. Well, that's basically what we're doing in North Korea. We're standing at their front porch saying and threatening them with a loaded gun. Actually, in this case, several missiles and loaded guns. That's what we do, okay? We start wars. We kill innocent people. We do all that. The United States is not a democracy. Get that shit out of your head. It's a police state. I know you probably like to think that we're a democracy, but we're not. We're a police state. And we haven't been a democracy for a while. And it's just gotten worse. And now we're even more of a police state. It's just kind of more open that we're a police state. Okay? We are into making a lot of money. That's the idea. That's one of the reasons we do wars. But it's not ever been long-term or intelligent. China, with their One Belt, One Road, is doing an intelligent idea of trying to do that, but we're destroying the world in the process. Hate to tell you, but even North Korea is not a bad guy compared to us. Yeah, I'll say it. Neither's Russia compared to the United States. Neither's Iran or any of those other places. We're probably the worst country in the world for the world, okay? We're the biggest danger to the world. We're the bad guys, like it or not. Most people don't like to see it because of patriotic bullshit, but look at the actual patriots that started this country and why, and then look at the way it was supposed to get better, and then look at how we went downhill. No, we went to hell. Eventually you people will be saying the same thing, but not until all the hype is out and you actually see what's happening. That won't happen until the shit really finally hits the fan and hits home. And people are starting to, because it's starting to hit home, but they're really not. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. The American people in general, are stupid in that sense. Give you an example. Joe Blow, 50 miles away, can say, oh my God, there's a big fire roaring, and my store is burning down, and it's caught the woods on fire. Well, people are going to go, oh, well, that's the woods 50 miles down the road. Till it hits my area, it doesn't bother me. And the fire's traveling up the forest, and this is hypothetical, but the fire's traveling up the forest, and you know, they don't whine until it's like at their doorstep. You know, in their town. Oh my God, there's a fire all around here. What can we do? Why didn't somebody tell us? But they were screaming to you, help us, the fire is over here. And you did nothing. And it got to you. Well, that's how things are with people. They look at shit and they go, wow, America's great, or this is going on, until it really starts affecting them. Well, it does affect people. You're blinded to most of it. Even the people that it affects to some extent are blinded. They only bitch about certain parts. Black people who are basically, they have racism against them, and a lot of them are innocent. Actually, believe it or not, most of the people we have in prison are innocent. And I'll put it to you this way. Do you trust every cop you see? I wouldn't. Not the way they are these days. Not the way they were 50 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 75, 100, well, whatever. But the point of the matter is I wouldn't trust them then, let alone now. They've just gotten worse. Have programs like Black Lives Matters come out because why? Because now video cameras and cell phones on it have taken pictures of cops killing black people. Black people have been saying this for years. We're innocently being murdered, is what they say. And it's been happening. Guess what? You're finally catching on because of this. And then you get your people rallying, and the news kind of blocks that out a little bit because they don't want to show that. But then it gets in the news a little bit here and there, and to be honest with you, that's what a police state is. It's when the news won't report shit because the government doesn't like them to, so that the government can abuse certain parts of certain people. In some cases, it's Black Lives Matter. The Minnesota pipeline. Ooh, we broke an American treaty again. Indians, treaty breaking, only in this case it wasn't the regular police. We let them hire private military groups to attack them. Should this not be illegal? Private military, attacking American citizens, being hired by private corporations. Should this worry you people? This isn't even the cops. This isn't even someone who's bound by any rules or laws. Okay? The surprise that this stuff doesn't worry people. It should. So you can't tell me we're not in a police state now when we're in a corporate police state. That's worse. We're actually in a police state that's run by corporations. Not even a police state ran by government. One day it'll be, if you're not buying my goods, I'm going to beat the crap out of your kids and take them away for slave trade or something. And don't think that's impossible, because you know what? America supports a lot of countries that are still into the slavery business, like Saudi Arabia. And we openly support them. We don't talk about the fact that they're slaveries or had anything to do with 9/11 or any of that. I do go on rants with this, but we don't. And there is slavery in America, folks, in multiple ways. Let's see. What's the prison system these days? Well, when you lock up a lot of innocent people and you're designed to have a quota, that means that since prisons actually have a quota that they have to have in their prisons to stay open, to keep everybody getting paid, and they get paid per person. That tells me, first of all, we have the largest prison population, although we don't have the largest population in the world. That it's a police state, a prison state. Prison system is slavery. They do force prisoners to work in a lot of cases. One's for KFC, basically plucking chickens. They call it training programs, but the prisoners really don't get paid for any of that. That's pretty much slavery. I mean, it's slave work, slave wages. Hell, okay, let's say you're just an average citizen and you aren't in jail. Okay, let's say you're like me. Okay, here. Slave wages. Jury duty, right? Jury duty. If I don't go there and perform my jury duty, yes, there are ways to get out of it, blah, 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 blah. But basically, if you don't go there or try to get out of it or find a legitimate reason out, you are now forced to go and be part of this jury duty. And if you're part of this jury duty, well, if you don't go, you get thrown in prison where you're put as a slave. Why? For just not wanting to do something that you never agreed to, never signed anything for. You were born in the country, and you're forced to do that. Oh, by the way, they pay you, yes, $40 a day. $40 a day is slave wages. That's not even minimum wage. They're not even willing to pay me minimum wage. That should be illegal on its own. Alright, if you can't even pay me a minimum wage, that's just wrong. Okay, they need to fix that. Matter of fact, I guarantee you there'd be a lot less people being called in for jury duty if there wasn't a major trial. If they had to pay you more than $40 a day, guarantee you the state would cut that back. But yeah, it's okay. They're taking money away from my pocket again, not just through taxes, but through jury duty, forcing me in. And by the way, look up your rights, people. Seriously, listen, look them up. Look up the first, second, third, fourth Amendment rights that you're supposed to have, and actually try to understand them, because in jury duty, they break a lot of those rules and regulations. First of all, for me to go into the court system, I have to let them search and seize me. Any of my property, I have to turn it over so they can look and make sure there's no weapons. Well, guess what? That's against one of my amendment rights. Police officers are not supposed to stop or search you without due cause. And due cause is not, well, maybe, or we're calling you in here because you have to, and now we get to search you. That's not by choice. They kind of get away with it in airports because you have a choice to go into an airport. You do not have a choice to go there. Well, your choice is going to jail. And that's not really a choice. Imprisonment and enslavement, or jail. And yeah, I'll call it that, enslavement. So, yeah, it's against a lot of my rights as an American. They invade my rights. They're evading anybody's rights who do that. So, American people, yes, your rights are walked on every day of the week by our government and trampled on. And you could be put in prison for even trying to defend your own rights and freedoms that were given to you by your forefathers. Our forefathers will be put in prison. So no, this country is a horrible place, and I can't wait to see the downfall of the United States. I think it's a horrible place, but it's probably going to take the rest of the world with it, because it's a horrible place. This is me signing off before my 15 minutes are up. Good luck, world. Goodbye. We're screwed.